just added a new test to the standard newborn screening. It's for ALD, a rare neurological disorder that most severely affects boys and men. Ahead of Rare Disease Day tomorrow, a local mom is trying to raise awareness for this condition. Julie Purschke joins us. She is the co-founder of Knockout ALD. Thank you so much for being here, Julie.
Thank you so much for having me, Paige.
In layman's terms, describe how ALD impacts patients.
Well, ALD is a genetic disease. It stands for adrenoleukodystrophy, and it is an X-linked disease, so it most severely affects boys and men, like you said, and sometimes women also. Many women carriers have symptoms as well. It attacks the very long chain. It allows very long chain fatty acids to build up in the body. Usually that we have something in our body that breaks those down. This affects that, and so long chain fatty acids build up and eventually destroy the protective covering on the nerves in the body, which is called myelin. And when that happens, then all neurological functions are severely attacked. And so usually in the cerebral form, which is the most severe form, it's very progressive, and boys lose all neurological functions, and many of them eventually die if not treated.
Can you share how it impacted your family and specifically your son?
My dad had the adulthood form, AMN, and so then I found out I was a carrier. So when I had my son, we knew to have him tested. He was tested as a newborn, and then he was followed yearly by brain MRIs. We also enrolled him in a Lorenzo's oil study at Johns Hopkins University through Kennedy Krieger. And at age 10, they found a lesion, a small lesion on his brain, and they immediately sent him to a bone marrow transplant process. And because it was found very early and before he had any symptoms, because he had also an umbilical cord blood donor and a wonderful team at the University of Minnesota, he is living a very healthy life, and it was successful in halting his cerebral ALD.
I'd love to hear that he's doing well now. In the midst of all this, you started a nonprofit. What is the mission?
Our nonprofit is called Knockout ALD, and our son, Nicholas, as he was going through the process, he asked if we could have some kind of run or walk. So we held our first run the year after his transplant, and our mission is to raise awareness of ALD and to raise funds for research at the hospital that where he got his transplant at the University of Minnesota. We had our 6th annual run in November, and we had over 600 participants, and we have raised $180,000 for research at the University of Minnesota so far. We're also here to support families who are being diagnosed, especially as Missouri has added it on their newborn screen.
Well, I appreciate you joining us today. As I shared with her in the break, I love to see a mom on a mission, and you certainly are. You're doing important work with this, Julie. Thank you for joining us today, and you can find out much more on Knockout ALD. You can find them on the web, knockoutalD.com, and you can also follow them on social media at Knockout ALD.